sly grin. Picks apart a case where the truth's been thin. Sharp tongue firing like a rebel's hell. Justice served with a snarky spin. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning all around. Laughing at the lies at the courts of crown. Riding the edge where truth is found. Coffee's cold but the witch stays hot. Poking at the holes in the legal plot. With a tilt of the glass he connects the dots. The courtroom's wild and he calls the shots. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning all around. Laughing at the lies at the courts of crown. Riding the edge where truth is found. Electric strums echo through the air. Justice tangled in a legal snare. With a grin, he tears it bare. No nonsense talk for those who care.
Dun 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 dun. Hey folks, we are going to need a positive intro and Mr. Jingles for this one. What we are going to listen to is a story that is 43 years in the waiting. Michael Fosler, if you don't know the case, Michael Fosler let's go back a bit. Michael Fosler groomed Aaron Spencer's daughter. A 67-year-old man managed to get a hold of, becoming a friend of the family, groomed and assaulted Aaron Spencer's daughter. When all of that surfaced, the Spencers did what anybody would. Contacted law enforcement. Law enforcement investigated, brought him to, arrested Mr. Fosler, put him in front of a judge. The prosecution had 43 counts of doing bad things to a minor against Mr. Fosler. The judge chose a $50,000 bond, 10% cash or bond. So for $5,000, Fosler was out. Not long thereafter, Aaron Spencer woke up in the middle of the night because the dogs went off. He got up, checked the rooms, checked his daughter's room, just to discover that she was gone. She had done the pillow thing to make it look like she was there. She wasn't. They called the police, and Aaron went out searching for his daughter. Not long after, he saw Michael Fosler's truck drove up to it, saw that his daughter was in the truck. Michael Fosler violated his bond to get a hold of the only witness to what he did to Aaron's daughter, the daughter. What he was going to do to her, unknown. But it's not unthinkable to imagine what he was planning on doing, including but not limited to making sure she could never testify. An altercation took place, and according to the extremely limited information we have about this case, is that Aaron saw Fosler having something in his hand. He didn't take any chances and fired 3 shots. And Michael Fosler was no more. Ending at least 43-year career of Fosler grooming and doing bad things to minor girls. Aaron Spencer was arrested and is now charged with murder by this same prosecution, by the same at the same judge who let Fosler out on $5,000. The judge decided to gag everyone. And when I say everyone, everyone. The prosecution, the witnesses, the defense attorneys, Fosler himself, Fosler's entire family. Everything was gagged and under seal. In my opinion, because the judge was going to get a lot of heat for this and chose to put everything under seal. Everybody gagged. That gag order was reversed by the Arkansas Supreme Court. And they did not hold back on their criticism. She's still the judge in this case against Aaron Spencer. He should not be charged. The Arkansas self-defense laws say in defense of yourself, defense of others, and there was a third prong to that. Include situation where someone is using or are about to use unlawful deadly physical force or imminently endangering the person's life, or if the person is about to be victimized from a continuation of it's a lot, but more or less, if he did this, Fosler, if there was a reasonable reason to believe he was about to make a felony, including violence against a girl. So in my opinion, you just need to look at the law and say, oh hell, we're not prosecuting this thing. But it's saving face for the prosecution, for the judge, because this makes them look extremely bad. The prosecution for not saying this is an absolute danger to the community, no bond. And the judge putting such a low bond on this predator. This case is rough. You won't see many law tubers touch this because it includes sexual violence towards minors. You will get your streams and videos demonetized. I haven't done many streams or videos on this, but those I have are demonetized. I don't give a fuck about the money or the ad revenue. I can live without those $5. I can. But this stream is about one victim of Michael Fosler who has now come forward. A victim from 1981. Which makes, if this is his first victim, which I do not believe it is, Michael Fosler has been doing this for 43 years. He was a law enforcement officer in Hamlet, Indiana. He was also the chief of police in Hamlet, Indiana. Somewhat of a school resource officer where he lived, which was, well, in and around Hamlet, Indiana. He enjoyed hanging around high schools and middle schools. The amount of victims could be absolutely staggering. And this first victim you're going to hear, they tried to put in a report on him, making it that law enforcement has allowed this monster to do these things for 43 years in Indiana and Arkansas and probably more places, because Aaron Fosler had a trucking company allowing him to travel vast distances around Midwest, South. So yeah, this is a case which will be really hard to hear about. But in order for us to encourage more of Michael Fosler's victims to come forward, we have to. This is, let me show you this first. This is Michelle's Criminal Musings. Go subscribe to her. Here is the link in the chat. Go subscribe to her. This is the 36-minute video we are going to listen to. This needs to have tens of thousands of views. Hopefully more. This is important, folks. I'm going to be streaming this one. Oh, where did it go? This one. But actually, if you just go over there and listen to it without my voice, please do so. You can watch this on replay. But this is Michelle interviewing Michael Fosler's first known victim. And folks, if you hold on. Yeah, this is a rough one. Buckle up.
He grew up in Hamlet.
There we go. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, so you want to help people understand how you knew the person that Aaron Spencer was forced to protect his daughter against.
Exactly. And I hope that other women or females of any age that have had any contact or past dealings with him will have the courage to come forward. That's all. I want other females to come forward in a means to protect this child and this father that was protecting his daughter. So I guess I could just start my story and lay the timeline.
Okay, sounds like a plan.
And I have to admit that my anxiety is through the roof.
Take it however you need to. If you need to stop at any point, just let me know. But take it however you need to.
Back in December of 1981, we had a house fire. I lived in Ober, Indiana, went to school in Knox, Indiana. And my mom was a single mom with 4 children. And so we moved to Hamlet, Indiana with my cousin. My mom worked in Plymouth, and we saved the money to rent our own home in Hamlet. And I lived about a quarter of a mile from Mike Fosler and his wife. And to help my mom financially, I babysat. And some really bad things happened. I ended up not continuing to babysit for them. Several months went by. I told my mom that I had a problem. I was not having my monthly period. And so she took me to the doctor, and he did a physical, and then my period started.
Yeah, I think you can imagine what she's referencing to here. Again, I'm going to pause from time to time because I encourage you to play this on her channel. I'm going to pin her channel on the top of the chat.
After I recovered, she confronted him, and he physically chased me through alleys with his car. I feared for my life. I ran through people's backyards to get back to my house. He was considered the town cop. And not only that, he was also somewhat of a resource officer at our school. My mom made me quit school because of him. He wouldn't quit. She picked us up and moved us to Plymouth. He followed us. He didn't move there, but he drove there. 15, 20-minute drive from Hamlet. When he wouldn't stop, my mom contacted my dad in Arkansas and sent me to live with my dad. And I felt somewhat safe until a few weeks ago when I found out that he has been here in Arkansas, in the same county within walking distance from my home, for years.
Yeah. This is a predator that keeps tabs on his victims. He did this with Aaron Spencer's daughter, and he did this with this woman. Can you post a link for the Give Send Go here in the chat? Yes, if you can. I'm not sure if you can. Try, and we'll see if you can. Let's see if I can find it. Now, this Give Send Go is not. Wait a minute. Yeah, only mods. So if a mod can find that Give Send Go, that Give Send Go is for the treatment of the daughter, not for legal things. If they put up one of those, you know I'm going to do a fundraising stream. You know I will. Not because I don't want to do a fundraising stream for the treatments of the daughter, but this is the focus on my channel, is the case, the trial part. And if this goes to trial, he's going to need money. Aaron Spencer needs to be with his daughter to help in the healing.
So I have a lot of anxiety, and I feel like I'm somewhat living in a twilight zone. I really, there's nothing to do except deal with it. And I didn't come forward for myself. I want no publicity. I came forward to help this little girl and the injustice that has happened to her and her father, in the means of trying to protect her from a demon. That's all I can say. He's a demon. He was. He wouldn't have stopped. When he kidnapped her the second time, he had every intention for her not to be in court, testify against him. I have no doubt in my mind that she would not be here today if Aaron hadn't done what he did. And that breaks.
Yeah, as she described, Aaron Spencer became violent, chased her, actively trying. Yeah. And one thing we know about these serial predators, they don't get less dangerous over time.
Breaks my heart as a mother and as someone that has suffered at the hands of that man. It's scary to come forward. I want everyone that has had any dealings with him that have been in a negative way to please come forward. Please help protect this young girl. Remember back what you went through and help protect her. Getting her father taken away from her at this point in her life is not going to be beneficial to her.
It's my opinion that through things that I had gone through, I didn't have the courage to tell my father I needed him to save me. But I know that if I did, he would have done the exact same thing or died trying. And that's why you're speaking now, is because you don't feel that this man should have to go to jail for doing his job, the thing we talk about people needing to do for their kids every day.
Right. Any parent would have done the same thing. If I had met that man out on the street after what I went through with him, I cannot honestly say what I would have done.
I can't imagine if you would have just seen him. Like that would have thrown you. That would have triggered everything for you.
Right? Last year, my daughter-in-law told me, hey, did you hear about the Lonoke County man that killed a guy because he kidnapped his daughter and, did things to her? And I had not heard it until she told me. And then you didn't hear anything else about it. It was like it just disappeared. So a few weeks ago, when I actually heard who he was, it was like, oh my God, how did he end up here? After I left Indiana and had to flee because of him and everything that he did to me, all the damage that he's done to me. How did he end up in the same county, in the same town, within walking distance from me? Why was he here? I want to know that.
You have every right to know. Every right to know. And it's scary to think of the possibility of him following you there. I know that's what you're thinking.
When my mom sent me to Arkansas, she had to file and report that I was a runaway because he was a cop and she didn't want him to know where I went.
I didn't even think of that part.
She did it in her mind as a means to protect me. I know. Back then, you didn't talk about those things. They were hush hush. The only thing you could do was leave, flee. Well, we tried and he followed. The only alternative she had was to send me away. And he followed. So it's surprising to me to learn that man was in the same county, same town, all these years. And I didn't know it. I didn't know it.
I can't imagine how it would have been. I know one time I had come across a relative of my abuser and it triggered me. I was right back to the day that it happened to me. I'm just so grateful that you didn't run into him there.
Me too. I mean, it affects everything you do, every decision you make as you go through life, how you are as a wife, a mother, a friend, how you interact with people.
And how you don't.
Right. And how you don't. So, I mean, my heart breaks for that little girl. Absolutely.
Now, can you help paint a picture as to exactly the kind of person that Fosler was to you?
Very abusive, controlling, very abusive. In the short time that I knew him.
You were babysitting for his children, right?
That's right. Oh, and it was a short time. So from January to April.
Okay.
That is the short 1981 and 82. Well, I was enrolled in January of 82. We actually left Knox over in 81, that Christmas vacation. So yeah, it was a few months. It didn't take him long to act like it. I got to watch what I say. He was very abusive.
I think it's important that you're speaking out because it's important that people understand he didn't just become like this and then go after this girl. There's a pattern, you guys.
I believe that, he grew up in Hamlet. He graduated in 1975. His family still lives there. Some of mine still do as well. And I fully believe that he has a long, long history before the incident with me and after.
Now, did he try to gain your trust?
Yes.
So there was like the grooming, the manipulation and stuff for you too?
Yes, but being 15, I was a little older and
yeah. Drew's asking, was he overly friendly at first? Was it an evolution?
Both of them were. Him and his wife both were. And when that happened, I actually thought she was involved.
I was about to ask that. She was not involved?
Well, she was in the bedroom when he did what he did.
According to this victim, Michael Fosler's wife was in the bedroom when he was doing what he did. I didn't think this could get any worse. And then she said this, and it got multiple times worse. Because if this was a couple who did this, We're going from Michael Fosler having to groom one at the time, which takes time, limiting the amount of victims, who is still staggering in a 43 years span. If his wife, who taught, what was it, Christian school or something like that, looking actively for vulnerable young girls in a church environment. I'm not sure we can stop at saying there were hundreds of victims, because there are potentially thousands of victims out there. If this, now I'm into the believe then verify. Do I believe her? Yes. Do we need to verify it? Yes. And we can only do that by more victims coming forward, forcing an investigation into Michael Fosler and his wife. Both are now deceased, so we can't interview them, or the law enforcement can't interview them. Not that I think that law enforcement are particularly interested in interviewing them, because in my opinion, law enforcement in Indiana and Arkansas hasn't done anything to catch this guy for over 4 decades. And once they did, half-assed, low bond.
At their home.
I am so sorry.
Well, so, yeah.
To think of a woman witnessing that happen, allowing it to happen, and not doing anything to intervene, it's just sickening.
Right.
It's just sickening. And I'm sorry that she didn't stop it. I am so sorry.
No, but I think she knew. She knew it.
And guys, I don't know if you guys know this.
My mom actually confronted him about me being pregnant. And he ran me down. I mean, he tried to run me over with his car. So
for
Yeah, so now she says it out loud. Michael Fosler raped and impregnated this 15-year-old. She then, with her mother, made a choice to end that pregnancy.
anybody that had doubts as to what his intentions were with Aaron Spencer's daughter, just listen to this. I've told you guys from the beginning that there was no way she was going to get back home that night. She was not.
No.
When he sat there and told her, I cannot let you testify, I will not let you testify, that said it all, and it really did.
Exactly. I have no doubt that she would have not made it home, ever. She wouldn't be here today.
And we'd be talking about this for a totally different reason. And that sickens me. And you look at this case and it's all about what Aaron Spencer did. And we're all sitting here staring at this case, and this, you guys really want to charge him for protecting his daughter in the way that we tell people they need to protect their children? It's like understanding.
He should be Father of the Year.
Yeah. It's like understanding the mind of a monster and how he operates. And to hear some of the stuff that you're explaining, what gave him the self-appointed power to do this from so many years ago?
He was authority in the town. I wasn't the only female. There were other girls, my friends. We talked about it. All my friends knew what he did. So if they see this live, they know who I am. I'm telling you, girls, come forward. Don't be quiet.
Yeah, I said this in an earlier video or stream. He liked to hang around schools, searching for vulnerable girls as a cop. There has to be, in Hamlet alone, dozens of women between the years of roughly 1976, 77, maybe even earlier when he himself was a teenager, up until he left Hamlet, I believe, in the late 80s. Yeah, JMR, not to make excuses, but the wife may very well be a victim too. I agree, but maybe in the same way Giswell was a victim of Epstein.
Don't be quiet anymore. Come forward. It's time to tell the world what you went through. I'm not the only one. I have reached out to a couple of them, and I asked them to come forward to help her. And they're scared. They're afraid because he has family there. They have.
Yeah. The Fosler family in and around Hamlet, Indiana. You're going to love to hear this because it's a parallel to another case I'm covering. Was of a prominent Freemasons family. Michael Fosler's grandpa, born 1901, died 1982, was the head of the local lodge in Hamlet, Indiana. So Michael Fosler, grew up in an environment where everybody protected him. That is my theory. Spoiled little shithead who then got a taste for minors. Yeah, Delphi case. Hamlet, Indiana is roughly 80 minutes from Delphi. 80 minutes. Michael Fosler is the same age as Keegan Klein's father. Both of them share age group of interest. And they lived an hour apart. As I said in one of my Delphi streams, I'm still looking for a direct connection between Klein and Fosler. Because then we are talking about generational. Child essay. I haven't found that direct connection yet. Mainly because, as I believe, Michael Fosler was protected by law enforcement because he was a cop himself. They made everything disappear.
Have family there. I have family there. But I'm not the only one. That little girl is not the only one. He has a long history in his path of this kind of behavior. And it's time that it all comes out. It's not fair that Aaron to be charged with murder for protecting his daughter against a criminal that has had this kind of behavior his whole life.
And make no mistake about it, guys, he had over 40 charges against this little girl, and they still let him walk.
That blows my mind. Why was he even out on bond?
Exactly.
He shouldn't have been at all, period.
It's these people that know where people are most vulnerable. So they get into a position of trust and power, and then they use that to manipulate those who are vulnerable.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. Not just the physical act that was committed, but the emotional. He
And
targeted her. It was in Hamlet, Indiana. Hamlet, Indiana. That's where he grew up. That's where his crime started. And the surrounding towns.
that's where he was law enforcement and essentially school resource officer.
That's where he graduated high school.
So if you guys know anybody that has a story that they want to share, I cannot stress it enough. The reason that she's sharing her story is because she does not want to happen what many of us are already fearing. The little girl that already lost so much, losing the one person that saved her as well. A person that even, keep in mind, he's already fought for our freedoms. He was in the military. He has risked everything for us. The least we could do is share his story. So doing this is a way for us to bring awareness to the kind of person that was in their lives, the kind of person that victimized this family. Because make no mistake about it, this family, the entire family was victimized. And we're seeing a long line of people from the past that were too.
Yeah, I just don't know how far back it went. I know I was there in 81 and 82. And I'm curious how far back it went because he grew up there. Maybe they should start looking into the past and the surrounding towns and all the crime against females that happened there.
Yeah. Sharing your story and being a voice is an important thing to do when there's a cause like this. Because again, if people don't understand the kind of man that it is, this little girl can lose her daddy.
Exactly. And we need to prevent that. She's going to need him. She is going to need all the support from everyone.
His whole family needs him. This is a family-wide thing, but to different scales. But the family cannot lose him right now. They all need each other. The family cannot be ripped apart. All because somebody felt like they can get in a position of power and trust to access people that were vulnerable and then pick out their targets and do the unthinkable. He had over 40 charges, you guys, over 40. And she let him out on a low bail with no monitoring. And Aaron Spencer was forced to have to save his daughter. Good morning. He was forced to have to save his daughter. He is a victim in this too. No child ever wants to see their parent unalive somebody. They do not. And no parent ever wants their child to have to see that. That's something that you just can't get away from. He did what he had to do when law failed him.
This family has suffered enough at the hands of this terrible, terrible person. They should not have to suffer anymore. It's time for them to heal as best they can. I'm asking for everybody here on this live to please say a prayer for them. I'm heartbroken over this. Absolutely heartbroken. And again, I'm going to say anybody that grew up in Hamlet, any females that were there during this time that have experienced this horrific act, please come forward. Please do not stay quiet. It is so important.
There's too much at stake. You don't have to say your name on this at all. That's not one thing. She is speaking because she wants to show what kind of character that this person had at the time. This was in Indiana. It's really important that people understand the accusations that were against this man, the things that he is. We have a pattern of history with this man. It didn't just happen and he picked them. No, there's a list. There is a list. And sometimes unmasking a monster, even though they're already gone, is the most important step.
So someone in the live is asking who I am.
You do not give your name.
Here is who I am. I'm a woman that went through horrific things as a child that grew up. I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a business owner here. And I am going to speak out against the terrible acts that were committed against this child.
Oh, they were asking about Foster's wife,
Oh.
Fosler's wife.
What about her?
They were asking if you knew where she was right now.
She's dead. She died.
Yeah. She died of cancer in 2022. Folks, I've found all the obituaries of the Fosler family. I found what organizations they are connected to, and it's the Order of the Eastern Star and some other organizations that are less Freemasons and more white supremacy. Hamlet, Indiana, like Delphi, Indiana, is over 97% ethnical white. And for you who don't know, Delphi, Indiana had a KKK rally as late as 1987. When the Flora 4 girls were murdered in an arson, that was more or less 5% of the black community in the county that died. There's that few ethnic black people when 4 girls. And a reminder of the Flora 4 case, still nobody in that county is interested in bringing that to trial, even though I've read through the documents, the testimonies, and seen the evidence. For me, there's a clear suspect. One clear, one more so-and-so. And it is eons more than they ever had against Rick Allen. But my suspect in the Flora 4 case is a local and a Freemason.
It's important for people to be able to come together, to share their voices for many different reasons. But the reason right now is for the reason to save this little girl from losing her father, to save Aaron Spencer from having to go to prison to lose the freedom that he made sure that we had by fighting for us, because he did the right thing, the thing that law enforcement failed.
Right. And if you don't live around here, you have no idea what goes on here. That alone is horrific.
Do you think that they know that you're there?
Yes. Yes, this isn't the first time I've spoke out. 3 weeks ago when I found out who got killed, I felt like I was brain dead, because that name bored in my mind from my childhood. They put that gag order on. You didn't hear anything. You heard about it last year. You didn't hear about it. And recently, I just found out. I didn't know all this time he was in my area. I did not know, going through daily life and living, that he was in my area within walking distance. I did not know until 3 weeks ago.
How has these past 3 weeks been for you?
Chaotic. I even contacted the school up there when I came forward and I said, hey, this is what happened. And I knew him back then. This is what happened to me. I contacted the school and got my school records to prove that what I said was not untrue. So,
even with Fosler already gone, do you think there's an element of backlash from the other people
yes,
that have been covering for him?
yes.
Well, yes, we all believe her. 100% we do.
Not just here, but for anyone that speaks out there. The girls that are still there wouldn't come forward because of his family there. My family there are afraid.
Julianne, that's a tough question and a tough thing to do, especially when there's so much corruption and a lot of allegations for things in that community. It's a hard thing to do, to decide whether or not you can trust that specific DA.
Exactly.
We just have to start sharing our stories, make sure that everyone knows that this man was always a monster. He didn't stop at just one victim. Allegedly, of course, but not allegedly.
Well, no, not allegedly. How many victims did he have on his path to Arkansas?
Exactly. This is the only time it caught up to him. And the only thing that we could prove is the ones that we have where show him charges. But if you think about what he did to her and what he did to you and how long ago he started, how many times has this man felt comfortable enough to do what he would do to children? And that's scary. Not to my knowledge, but I only know about the 43 charges that he had on this case. You got to remember, with somebody that connected and powerful, it was important to get away. Especially, you got to remember, he was trying to run her down with a car. He was after her. It is important to be able to get away with your life. And that's what she did. And even now, her coming forward and speaking is a huge risk to her. But she's doing it for the reason that's important to her. And that's all that matters. But make no mistake about it. Make no mistake. Yeah, he was caught in the act. He was. And this is her story to tell, and she's chosen to tell it. And I believe 100% everything she's saying.
I came forward for myself.
I know.
I came forward for that family and that little girl. And any other victim in between.
I know you did.
It's hard to call and report an act back in the 80s, especially when he's the town cop.
Oh, yeah.
When my mom confronted him, I have no doubt he was going to kill me. That's why she picked us up and moved us. And then when he followed, she sent me away. There was no other choice.
If you guys just missed that, she did try to get away and he followed her. In case you missed what she just said, he did follow her on that occasion when she was moved away.
And for him to show up here? Oh my God.
Now that you know, are you finding that some of your habits in the past of seeing who's around you at all times are flared up and acting on impulse?
Well, I always look over my shoulder. I always pay attention. I always look at people because in my mind, somehow I can tell their intentions. I never ran into him. I can honestly tell you that if he ever crossed my path, he always hid. I never saw him.
I'm grateful that you didn't see him.
So am I, but on the opposite hand, God forbid he do this to other people. It blows my mind.
Maybe someday there'll be answers through all this.
Maybe
they can find answers and give some kind of answers to what brought him there.
I'm sure it will come out. At first, when I heard, I thought, okay, he followed me here because he followed me before. And I thought he followed me here.
Yeah. And since he owned a trucking company for many, many years, it is very possible that is how he kept tab on his victims. By taking truckloads all around Southeast Arkansas, Indiana. I can't put a limit on the number of victims Michael Fosler might have had. This is not end of 1981, early 1982 with this one. And she says she knows other girls in Hamlet, Indiana that were Fosler's victims. Telling me it started before this. We are talking about back in the 70s.
We're looking at a pattern here, guys. A very, very, very big pattern.
It's absolutely insane. You can't make this stuff up. It's like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. And when you think about it, over 40 charges of SA type crimes against a child, and she let him walk on 5,000, you guys. And what do you think he did? He turned around and he took her. This is somebody that got into a position of power in different state, and he carried that over, thinking that because he had a badge, he was completely protected, that he could go after the people that are vulnerable because he had a position of power and a position of trust. He tried to use that time and time and time again. We are speaking on the story of Aaron Spencer and who victimized their daughter and the kind of person he is. We have someone up here telling their story from their own past with him. This was not a one-time offender.
Absolutely not.
This was somebody who just got charges on them, and he was going to do everything he could to make sure she couldn't testify. That is clear. There's a lot of people. You guys. The list is long. Some of them aren't ready to speak. And we're hoping that maybe from having this conversation today, they'll feel that there is a way that they can speak and that we can get them in touch with somebody that can help say the kind of man that this is. Because that's what's important. Not tearing down the man that saved his daughter, but the man that caused all of this to begin with. Many times over to many different people.
I just ask that my friends come forward and speak out. You girls have no idea how much you can help this little girl and this family.
Hi, Michelle. Michelle is in the chat. Everybody say
And I'm
hello.
asking you to do it.
Everybody say hi to Michelle.
We've been friends a long time, girls. Come forward. It's time.
So this is a call to action. They're all grown now. They're all grown. They know the accusations, yes. That's what she thinks too, Glenn. The more people that speak out, the better. Also you got to remember that there's a certain taking back your power from a person too that's important, but she's not doing that for that. She's doing this just for that little girl.
Yeah. And having her coming forward is so, so important. Hopefully, it will make others come forward. But in order for it to do so, every single channel covering the Aaron Spencer case must have more views. I can only do my little part here. But hopefully, Melanie Little had it on her channel yesterday. Now that should have absolutely crashed this viewership, but it's still under 2,000 views. We need this interview here to go in the tens of thousands. I don't mind if my takes off. I don't expect it to, because it's the subject that is really, really bad for algorithm. Accounts like Melanie Little can break through that because she has an enormous audience. The rest of us, not so much. So I'm going to have this interview on. I have 2 other channels. I'm going to log into my other channels. Watch this. I will come back tomorrow. Watch with my 3 channels. The day after that, watch with my 3 channels. It needs to go viral.
And even coming up here and telling her story is beyond commendable. It's brave, and I know it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't easy. But by me coming forward, I want to empower them to come forward.
And hopefully this helps. Hopefully
If
this
we as women start standing up for each other and coming forward, especially in a situation like this, where there were multiple victims. Again, I'm going to say I was not the only one. My friends back then and we talked about these. We talked about the situations that we went through with him, with that same man. I want them to be empowered to come forward and tell what happened, tell their story. They don't have to put their face out on Front Street. Come forward, reach out to this family and tell them what happened. Be a witness, a character witness to his past criminal behavior and show how far back it goes. Help this family, help this little girl not lose her dad because he was protecting her against the same thing we went through, you went through, I went through. It's only fair to this little girl.
They were contacting Erin some the day after reporting the fundraisers. Yeah, that's what I was telling her about on the phone. I think that they do know, but we'll just leave that where it is. How did he have access? Well, he got in a position of power by being in law enforcement, a position of trust, even at the time what we would call school resource officers. And he used that. He used that to get to the most vulnerable people. And it worked, like it does many times over. But the thing is he didn't just start this. This is a pattern of stories that we are hearing from state to state all the way back. I think I'm missing some of these things here.
Well, he was 8 or 9 years older than me. He was in his early 20s.
He was 24
when I encountered him. So his behavior goes way back. Criminal behavior. Targeting young females.
Aaron Spencer, you guys, is a man that shows his heart, loves his family, and if he is taken from his family, how is she going to recover? How are any of them going to recover? They were forced into that situation that night. They had no choice. None. The law had already failed them. I think that is one of the reasons they slept that gag order down.
Probably so.
But I know some of you have heard us talking about that area and the corruption as well. There's a lot of people in that area, in that community, that have done a lot of really bad things, you guys. And I think that's one of the reasons people are scared about coming forward, is because of how deep this goes.
There's corruption in every town, I'm sure. Some more than others.
But hitting this close to home?
Exactly.
Exactly like what you just said. If it doesn't fit the sheriff's narrative, he's going to come after you.
I know.
You want to share that?
Believe me, they already have.
You want to tell any of that?
Well, my son was targeted. The same situation that Aaron experienced with the paraphernalia. My son experienced that as well. He is currently on probation.
Planting. And down below, my friend Samantha, she's actually from there, and she was telling me about cases where that has happened time and time and time again.
How they make some money.
Yeah, to think that somebody can get that much power to just ruin somebody's life like that is scary.
That's how they make their revenue for this county.
And that has to stop. I don't know if they ever had an idea how their father was. They do know the accusations against their father, though.
Well, I don't know who this is that's asking this question about the children being grown, and did they ever know about his behavior? My guess is that they experienced the same situation.
There's a strong possibility
The state that we're talking about,
that Michael Fosler's daughters have been in the same situation. Here's an unsettling thing. Michael Fosler also had a son who died at 1.5 years. Now he died from, I haven't found the cause of death other than his obituary that says illness in the hospital. But knowing what kind of monster Michael Fosler is, why would he want a son when he could have only daughters? That's pure speculation on my part.
States, Indiana and Arkansas. Well, I know that this has not been easy on you, but I want to thank you for coming up and telling us your story. I know that it took a lot, and I know the reasons you did it. So thank you.
I want to empower others to do it.
Mm-hmm.
This family needs all the help they can get at this point.
100%. 100%. So let's see if we can find anybody else that wants to talk on this, because if there was ever a reason, it's right now. If there was ever a time, it's right now.
I knew a lot of girls there. And if they're on here, or if you have family that live there, please ask them to come forward. By me telling my story, they know who I am. Contact me if you want. Contact me on Facebook. You know my family that's there. Contact them.
Yeah. Michael Fosler's victims in Hamlet, Indiana, from the early 80s, who was then aged between 12 and 15, is now mid-50s with adult children. So this is a call out to the adult children of the Hamlet, Indiana girls. Ask your mothers. That I know that is insanely rough, because it's not unusual for victims to just want to make it go away and not think about it ever again. But Aaron Spencer's daughter needs you to. The thing you see on screen is the petition to absolve Aaron Spencer from the charges, not the amount of money that's collected. His Gives and Go is currently at 46,800. I will post the link again. This is not a proper fundraiser. I will have one eventually. I have another one already. I have pre-planned others, and I can't do fundraisers all the time. My body will not work if I do my fundraisers all the time. But I will have one eventually for Aaron Spencer and his family.
To contact me if you don't have my contact information. Reach out to me. I'll tell you what's going on. Please come forward. That's all I ask.
You're right, Lauren. She is very strong for telling us. She really is. That's why it's important. Again, we have to make sure that everyone that hears the story knows the kind of man that Aaron had to save his daughter from. We need to make sure that they see that in the courtroom too.
Well, I'm not ashamed or afraid to go right up into that courthouse. I am not. I offered to do it.
I know.
Give me a lie detector test. Put me up in that courtroom, and I'm going to tell everybody what he is.
Is there anything else that I haven't brought up that you wanted to bring up?
Well, there's other things that are going on, but that's probably all I can talk about right now.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were. I know how I get when I talk about my past. I'm exhausted from it. So I can only imagine what this was like for you.
Well, it's not right to be quiet. The right thing to do is to come forward and tell the truth.
I think that a lot of people are used to not rocking the boat, so to speak. But this is a boat that needs rocking.
Yeah.
It's for the right reasons.
I did that for 45 years. I put this whole situation in the back of my mind and didn't think about it. My family, my close family, my children, they didn't know about it until he popped up. They were here. They were here for me when I broke down and found out he was here. It's absolutely insane.
I can't even imagine what that was like for you to find out he was there and he's been there. I can't even imagine.
Why was he here? What brought him here?
That's the question. That's the question. But I think there's a lot of places that he's been between Indiana and Arkansas,
Right?
with being a trucker and so on. So I think this is a lot far-reaching than people have any idea of. And it's time, guys. It's time. It's time. Oh, if you guys miss this, don't worry. I'll repost it when we're done. I'll put the live up on page so that you guys could hear all of this from the beginning. I understand 100% that you guys may have come in and parts of it through. We are talking about what Aaron Spencer had to deal with that night to save his daughter. The man behind the mask of a monster, because he had a mask on to hide that monster. We need to know who Aaron Spencer dealt with that night in order to save his daughter and why it was so important. Because he literally was a monster hiding behind a mask and a badge for years. It's time to tear that off.
If Aaron hadn't stopped him, that little girl probably wouldn't be here today.
Yep.
I have no doubt about that.
Yep.
As someone that had to run from him, she would not be here today. He should be getting the Father of the Year award.
I completely agree with you there. Yeah, he did. I have a whole tab on Aaron Spencer on my TikTok page, you guys. You can view all my videos and coverage on there so you get a little bit more information on it. But I'm not going to keep you any longer. I know how hard this was for you, and I want to thank you very much for coming up and doing this. You're doing it.
You're very welcome.
It was strong. You were strong. It took all this energy to do this, and trust me, people will appreciate it, and I do appreciate it too.
You try to have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
That petition, as you see, 168,592, is now at 195,532. The link will now be at the top of the chat, the petition. And folks, this case has been going on since end of last year. 10/8/2024, he was arrested. This petition should have millions of signees. But the case in itself is, if you try to talk about it on X, you will get extremely few of these reactions to it. On my channel here, I have now about half of the viewers I normally have. Because we are talking about this very subject. And this is something that both European Union, Australia, UK, and even some forces in the United States says, no, stuff like this should be censored. You shouldn't talk about it because we have to protect the children. These laws of censorship does not protect children because it also censors making people aware of what's happening. So sign the petition. Go subscribe to Michelle. Watch that video at Michelle's place. Watch with Melanie Littles. Go find other channels who cover the Aaron Spencer case. When I posted, when I posted this, I did one of these hashtags. Aaron Spencer, since for 10 months of this case, only 138 videos has been made with the hashtag Aaron Spencer. Free Aaron Spencer has less than 100 videos made on it. Because many does one video, sees that it absolutely tanks, and won't do another one. Aaron Spencer needs our help before he ends up like Rick Allen in prison. We have a chance here to make a difference for Aaron Spencer and his family and his daughter. We tried with Rick Allen. We failed because of the judge. Now, Arkansas Supreme Court have told the judge in Aaron Spencer's case, nah, you can't gag it. Not like this. I don't know when Aaron's next court date is. Let's see if I can find. No, can't get in there. Yeah, everything. Let's see here. The December 17th is for 2024 and January 2026. All of that was continued because of the Supreme Court and the gag order. And that decision came back in May. And then they took a summer vacation. So yeah, I see the date December 17th, but that is, let me see here. No, you're correct. Sorry. Pre-trial date December 17th, and the trial is now scheduled to begin January 26th of 2026. This Susan, do we know if the authorities has his DNA and run it in code? They should have, since Michael Fosler was arraigned and everything on these charges. These charges alone should have made Arkansas take his DNA. If they have done anything to it, we don't know. Because as he was killed, his case was also moot. So we don't know if they kept it. No, Next court date, Virginia Farizzo, absolutely correct. December 17th, and trial scheduled to start at January 26th, which is insane, because from now to December 17th should be a lot of pre-trial hearing dates. So again, watch Michelle's video once a day. Sign the petition. And if you have the means to the Gives and Go to Aaron Spencer's family support, please do. I will do a proper fundraiser eventually, but I have too much planned up until my trip to the United States. And since the beginning of this, hey, $100. So it's now at 46,900. So during this stream, now I don't know if I can take credit for it, but they got another $100. Thank you so much if you did this from here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Folks, you know the drill. But not only on my channel. Go look for these other channels who have covered the Aaron Spencer trial. Encourage them to keep doing it. Give them a like and a subscribe. To my knowledge, he is in county jail because he is charged with murder 1, premeditated murder. Yeah, Alaskan Avenger. Let me check here. Defense Diaries also a few days ago. Lawyer You Know. I'm looking at Lawyer You Know. Lawyer You Know, his videos are almost always in the couple of 100,000 views. He has under 100,000 views. If he is on bond, that's amazing. Then you have the channel Hidden Killers with Tony Bruschi. And I'm not a lawyer, but Mr. Global. Yeah, just put in Aaron Spencer in the YouTube search field, and you will find the channels. But that is what I had for you for now. Later today, at 5 p.m., it is Slightly Buzzed Friday Law Show. We are going to look at and have fun at Laura Michelle Owens, the tonsil twins woman, Cat Not Williams as well. Ricada covered it. Yeah, so we need to keep it going. We need to keep it going. I'm going to try to find the charging documents and do a reading of them. Find articles, do reading of them. And once, I highly doubt this judge will allow cameras in the courtroom. We are talking about a Judge Gull again, another Judge Gull here. Hello, Mr. Jingles. Hello. So from me and Mr. Jingles, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you at 5 p.m. I haven't set it up yet. I will, but I need to get myself a little nap before. Oh, are you tenderizing the meat? Thank you, Mr. Jingles. But everybody, again, thank you. You all have a good one, and I will see you all in the next stream or video. Bye-bye.
Slightly muzzle on him with a slight grin. Picks apart a case where the truth's been thin. Sharp tongue firing like a rebel's hymn. Justice served with a snarky spin. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning all around. Laughing at the lies at the courts of crown. Riding the edge where truth is found. Coffee's cold, but the witch stays hot. Poking at the holes in the legal plot. With a tilt of the glass, he connects the dots. The courtroom's wild and he calls the shots. Nick's got the mic and is breaking it down. Lego chaos spinning